Good morning. This is Sherry, live from Vancouver with At 45, the magazine for women over 45, for those of us who are rediscovering who we are, exploring what we want next in life. And we want more of everything: love, fun, laughter, and fulfillment. These are trying times, and our quarantine conversations are an opportunity to break out of your four walls, find some mental stimulation, some answers to some questions, laugh and share experiences. The magazine is working hard to provide a forum for women generally, but especially in these trying times. Today, I'm so excited to welcome Anne Marot from South Africa, a marketing professional with 24 years experience and an unusual approach to marketing. Marketing is crucial to your business, especially in these difficult times. So welcome, Anne.
Thank you very much, Sherry. It's great to be on here. Always nice to see your friendly face.
Well,
and you're looking
thank
beautiful this evening.
So just before we get started chatting, I just wanted to let people know that are on the call that these are being taped and will be loaded up to our YouTube channel. So if you don't want your faces in the public domain, you'll want to use an avatar. The agenda is quite simple. We're going to dive right in and chat with Anne and pick her brain on how we can be marketing during COVID-19. And also then at the end, we'll open up for some question and answer time. And also just to share, we'd love to know what your business is, where you're from in the world, and how you're dealing with these unusual circumstances. So welcome again, Anne. How did you get into marketing? Tell us a little bit about you and your experience.
Well, it's a very long story. I was actually in the health industry. I owned a health studio with my husband, and I'd been there for many years, got my degree in fitness and nutrition. And then we moved to a little island called Mauritius, which on some maps doesn't even feature. We lived there for 8 years, where my 2 children were born. And then I got a divorce. So that's the short of it. I had to come back to South Africa and start again because since I wasn't married to anymore, I couldn't stay in the country. And also in that country, they don't allow women to be in competition with their husbands in business, believe it or not. So I couldn't go out and open up a health studio in competition to him. So I had to come back to South Africa, and I then started working for a company, a well-known big corporate company, SA Breweries. So, I think it's called SA Miller internationally. I decided that I wanted to study in something, that was more in line with what I loved. And so the company gave me a bursary and I started studying marketing. Yeah. So they really gave me an opportunity which has formed my life. I had to work for them for 5 years to pay back the bursary, but they then became my client, which was the most amazing thing ever. And I opened up my company called Mystery Marketing, MYSTERY. So Mystery Marketing is been in the market now in May will be 23 years. And I think about 4 years ago, I went online. So I'm now an online marketing specialist.
Well, that's a fabulous title. And especially in these times, I think it's an opportunity not only for those of us who are already online, but for many businesses, brick and mortar kinds of businesses, who can pivot some portion of their business to move online. It seems a great opportunity right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, you know, for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been saying to people, my clients and even family members, you know, get yourself a little sideline business online, because you never know when you're going to need it. And now we're faced with a economy crisis where people don't even know if or when or how they're going to get paid if the business are, you know, still closed down. And we're in lockdown here until the 16th of April, but the talk is that, you know, it's going to be longer, where this type of thing does not affect me at all.
Well, absolutely. I mean, for those who are calling in and have businesses, say in the United States, they're talking about the end of April for sure. In Canada, some, like we're in Vancouver, and they're talking about keeping some form of shutdown or quarantine kind of system until the summer. And I was talking to some women in the UK yesterday, and it was the same thing. Many of them don't believe that things are going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, it's really scary out there. You know, I did. I had I had a free training webinar this, you know, today, and a lot of you know, we had a bit of chit chat in the beginning before we started the training, and a lot of women from all over got onto that webinar because they want to find something else. It's like, you know, panic almost.
Absolutely. So what is walk us through what you believe is first important about online marketing?
I think marketing in general is it's almost is considered to be like a luxury in most companies, unless you're a big corporate company. But you know, the small to medium sized businesses, they often feel that marketing is not necessary in tough times, because why? It seems like it's in a luxury and they want to cut out all those extra expenses. So the first thing they do is they cut out marketing. Now, that's the last thing you should do, because that's when you need to be marketing the most. Okay. And so the idea of that can't be, you know, people don't understand that, because they say, well, why must we market if, you know, if no one's got any money? But, you know, if someone needs your service, they got to know that you're out there. And if you aren't doing marketing, then, you know, you're not going to be, no one's going to know that you exist or that you're offering that service. So I find that that's one thing that really astounds me, even in today, 2020, that people do think that they don't need marketing, but it really is. It really is a very important thing. And if you allow me, I'll tell you a little story, which I think I actually wrote an article of that on your magazine, about, you know, how people perceive the way they look at selling their product or their service. So can I go ahead and do that?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So here goes. I have a story, and it really is just to give you an idea of how important marketing is, first of all. And then I'll talk about the changes from years back to where we are now. I think that, well, first of all, this story is about a guy who was incredibly talented when it came to baking cakes. And he made the most amazing cakes. He baked the most and decorated the cakes, and it was just amazing. Okay. And so everyone came to the cake shop to get his cakes. And the place was made a lot of money. The cake shop was very well known for the fabulous bakery or patisserie, and they were very popular, and people were queuing at times to get these cakes. And then one day he was thinking, well, you know, why am I working for somebody else? Why don't I get my own business? Because after all, this guy is paying me a salary to make his cakes, and my cakes is the success of the business runs on my cakes. And so he decided that he would go and get his own business. So he left the cake shop and he went and opened up his own cake shop. And then he waited and he waited and nobody came. And then a friend came to him and said, well, you know, why aren't you telling people you're out here? Why aren't you marketing? So he said, well, I don't need to, because I have a very good product and people love it. I was at the cake shop and they all came there for my cakes, but now they're just not coming. And he said, well, the thing is, what you have to remember is that firstly, you have to tell people that you're here, okay? And then you have to understand one thing. It's not about the thing that you do. It's about the marketing of the thing that you do. So that shop did not work because of your magnificent cakes, but they worked because they did the marketing of your magnificent cakes. And so really that's a story.
And it's very appropriate. I mean, there are so many businesses who don't get off the ground or now have the potential to shrivel and die. And you used a good analogy one time when we were talking about that marketing is, you know, the oxygen to your business or the lifeline to your business.
Yes, it is. It's the bloodline to your business. I mean, it definitely is. Yeah.
So, can you just sort of give us a little bit of insight into the difference between marketing and selling? Because to my mind, especially before I met you, I thought it was the same thing.
And most people do. And when I mean, in the past, I worked in clients' offices. You know, they would get me in and they would say, well, we need you to come in and work with us. And I'd say, fine. And I would go in and then they would ask me to train up their sales team. And I'm going, well, I'm a marketer. I mean, I can do the training. Yes, I can train your people, but marketing is not the same as selling. And they would go, nah, it's the same. It's the same. Can you just train them up? And so I used to charge them extra for that because because it wasn't really what I did, but I could do it. But the difference is this: when you sell something, you sell the product, and when you're marketing, you're finding a way for people to buy the product. So the difference is that you're not selling the product, although you indirectly are, but you are creating awareness of the product so people will go and buy it from a salesperson.
So if I can just say that back to you, it's you're creating awareness of their need.
Yes.
So you can fill that with your product.
Absolutely. And you don't actually even nowadays, I mean, things have changed so much. You don't even sell a product nowadays. Most people are still selling products. That's why they aren't doing so well. You know, and I've spoken about this often to people. They go, well, what's that about? You know, what does that mean? And I say, well, you don't sell a product. And they go, yeah, but we do. We need to sell a product. And I say, no, you got to make an offer. You know, you got to. It's like nowadays when you look at technology from the time I was born. So I was born in an era where the most changes in technology has happened. Okay, so in the 60s to now, everything has changed. So when I was born, they still had records, which you don't see now. You don't have it in your home. And in fact, my kids don't even know about a record and a vinyl. You know, they don't know about that. And so then you had cassettes, and then you had CDs, and then now we don't even use CDs anymore. You have MP3s. And so why I'm saying this is because, you know, everyone originally, when you started business, you would have a website. It's like, look, I've got a business. Do I need a website? And of course you need a website. You've got to get a website, you know. But nowadays, the website is a dying species. I mean, it's something that is not useful as it was previously, because people have got set in the ways that that is what you're supposed to do when you have a business. You're supposed to have a website. That's what your marketing is. That is what tells people about you. But it isn't like that anymore. It's the same as, you know, we don't use the cassettes anymore. So a lot of things have changed, especially going into 2020. You can see that there's no longer selling a product. And I'll give you an example of that. If I say to you, I've got this amazing iPhone, and I'm going to sell it for $1,000. Do you want to buy this for $1,000? You say, what? No ways. I could get that for like $500. Why would I buy from you for $1,000? So that's selling. I'm trying to sell this, and it's not working, because if I'm selling this to you, you have lots of options out there to go and find it cheaper. So what we have to learn in marketing is not to sell this anymore, but to give an offer. So I would say to you, Sherry, I got this amazing iPhone. I'm selling it for $1,000, and you say, oh no, well, that's far too expensive for me. I don't want that. And I say, well, hang on, I'm not finished yet. I've got 10 top celebrity phone numbers on my phone that comes with the phone. I've got this little shiny cover and this little goodie that's attached at the back where you can put it in your car, you know. And not only that, I'm going to give you a certain amount of 10 lessons to teach you how to use this phone properly to get the most out of it. Okay. Then what happens is the 1,000 becomes less, and it's more acceptable.
Yeah, especially for those 5 celebrity phone numbers.
Yeah.
Well,
People would just buy the phone for the cell numbers.
That's an interesting perspective. So it's not, again, it's not selling a particular thing. It's sort of creating a package that fulfills somebody's needs.
Yes, you're selling a solution, an offer that's appealing, that solves a problem.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
So, you know, with that, if somebody wanted to like make an initial, well, first actually, let's talk about the fact what you said, that a website is becoming obsolete. And let's talk about the audience, like say example on Facebook. Lots of times, especially in these days, we're thinking, oh my God, there's so many things being marketed online. Like I don't even have a hope. But there is such a big market online. The other day, we were talking about a statistic like 2.5 billion people are on Facebook. So you only need to capture just a little increment of that, and you're going to be able to sell your product. So,
Absolutely.
so how do people get attention in that way? What are some tricks or tips that they could use?
Okay, so the most important thing, and especially if you look at advertising on Facebook, you got to your marketing person has to be really creative and work on the 3 most important things when you're getting your product or service, your advertising out there, because initially everything starts with an advert. And what you have to do is you have to try to capture people's attention, stop them in their step, so that they click on your ads. So it's got to be the power in that is all in the hook. So there are 3 aspects, and first it's the hook, and then it's the story, and then it's the offer. Okay, so when you're advertising, your hook is what's going to stop them in their tracks, and they're going to then click on it, and they're going to go somewhere where you've got to hold their attention. Okay, and the reason why, if you look at I use a platform, we call it, it is a website, but it's more like a sales funnel, because it's leading people through a process, a purchasing process. You're guiding them so that they get what they want and you get what you want, and there's a win-win situation at the end. So when you guide someone through a process, you got to you want to know who they are first of all, and when you're on a website, well, you're just an IP address, so the person will come on, there'll be so many options. You've got this little place, this little spot that has a big dollar sign on, and you want them to go there and buy your product, but they never get there, because the attention span of a person online nowadays is literally 7 seconds.
Wow.
And a goldfish is 8. So this is why the new way of marketing and using sites that is going to guide people to where they want to go, or where you want to go. If you've given them a solution, they click on it, take them on that journey, that shopping experience, that holding the hand of the customer all the way through. And that way, you get to know who they are, first of all, by offering them value, because when someone gets value, they will give you whatever you want to get that value. And so what we do is we use things like, I'm sure you've heard the terminology, landing pages, opt-in, squeeze pages, all of that stuff, different names, different terminology, but all the same thing. It's you land from an advert, you land on a page that the objective is to capture their details, but to do that, you have to give them value to keep them there. And then once they take what you're offering them, then you can sell. And funny enough, in my training that I did today with a group of ladies, we focused on like, how do you market to them, fine, and they come in, but what happens then when you get on the sales page of this journey? Well, one thing it's not about, and that is talking about your successes. So no one wants to really know how successful you are. Even though you can say, oh, I make $17,000 a day, or find out how you can make $17,000 a day. No, I'm so tired of that. But nowadays, what we do is to connect emotionally with people that are in our journey or our shopping experience, is we talk about our failures, funny enough, like things that we want to connect with that person out there and make them understand that we've also experienced what you're experiencing now. And so we know how bad that can be, and therefore we have the solution for you. And so what you do is you talk about the failure, or the downfall, or the emotional trauma that you've had, to connect and make them understand. They then develop trust. Yes, she's experienced not having money, therefore now she has money, therefore I want to buy what she's got to sell. Yeah. And
now, so often, people who are doing coaching and things like that, you'll see them use that technique. But does it also work for if you have just a product that you're selling online, widgets or glasses or things like that?
Yeah, it does. Well, I have a story of an American man who started selling flashlights. He used a platform that I use to build my sites on, and he started selling flashlights. But he had this whole story around the flashlights, and again we go back to the hook and the story, and then he makes the offer. And it was so hilarious, actually, because he's a millionaire today, a dollar millionaire, and lives in America. And he started selling he sold one flashlight, okay, and he would give value, so people would give him their details, and then he would take them to the second pages and upsell them on 2 flashlights. And he was so successful because of the way that he did it. You know, the way that he marketed these flashlights made people want to buy more. So he actually had a thriving business just selling flashlights, and it's mostly around how you market that product. It's not about the product.
And so that's very interesting, and actually gives anybody some hope that they can find a niche online and sell their products. One of the things that I'm sort of curious about is when you're either starting a business or you're a small business entrepreneur, you're often tempted to want to try and do everything yourself. And I know, you know, with my magazine that's true. And what I've learned is that you can't do everything. And if you're not a natural marketer, it's very hard to just put some points down and say, okay, this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for people who think they don't have a budget, but also don't have the skills?
So your question is,
What's the solution for people?
they don't have a budget?
Or skills, one or the other.
Well, if you don't have a budget, you're in trouble. But you can get away with not having skills.
And isn't that true? And I think that's what we're just talking about. That's the truth.
Yeah. You definitely can get away without having any skills. I mean, look, let's be honest. We all try to, I know that in the beginning, I had to learn to do everything from being the graphic designer to, trying to get clients to doing different marketing, promotional stuff. I mean, it was literally, I learned everything. And I think it's really good to know everything, but not that you do everything.
Well,
and I mean, yeah, carry on.
I was just going to say, you can, in this day and age, and in this time that we're struggling with right now, if you have a business and you need to get money happening, it would be more appropriate to try and get a specialist to do the work than to spend the time trying to learn it on your own. And I found that really true with the magazine, because it is a small business. I do much of it myself, but the one thing that I can't do and I'm not good at is marketing.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no easy way out. If you're gonna, you can, a lot of people think that posting on social media is marketing. It forms part of your marketing, sure. Not if you're posting your dog or your meal that you're having. That doesn't work. But it does definitely form part, but there's a way to do it, and I don't know if Russell Brunson. Well, he's the owner of the platform that I use. He's American. He lives in I think what's the place up there near Sacramento, Idaho. I think it is Idaho. Is that near Sacramento?
I'm sorry, I'm not in the States.
Okay, so he lives in Idaho, and amazing guy. And he's just launched his book called Traffic Secrets. And yesterday I was online with him and listening to what he had to say, because obviously we all want to know about how to get traffic. And a lot of us don't have a huge budget to spend or, give to Facebook, and hope that we get some hits. So what he was saying is that, there's a thing like organic traffic where you actually don't have to pay. And of course, everyone wants to know that secret. And so I made sure I was on his live, and I'll share the secret with all you ladies. What he said was, it's not a big secret. It's simple. He said, first of all, you don't go posting your stuff all over the place and hoping for a hit. If you don't have a budget, what you do is you build up your own profile. And then you go out and you go into groups and participate in conversations with people. And all you do is offer your advice and your help for nothing. And then when they see that you turn up every single day and all you do is give, they're going to click on your little picture, and where's it going to take them? It's going to take them to your profile, your timeline. And that's where you post everything. So we had this big idea that you have to form groups. You have to have 101 different pages, business page here, a fan page here, a group. But it all stems from your profile, because at the end of the day, when you are there and you turn up every single day offering your assistance and your help for free, people are going to check you out. They're going to click on your little picture and it's going to take them to your timeline. And that's where you need to put the stuff that you want people to see.
And that is so, that's so important. Maybe we could just touch on that point for a minute too, because especially with the magazine, I'm talking with women entrepreneurs all the time. They're contributing, advertising, all kinds of things like that. And it is just amazing how many times I've clicked on a profile to get a hold of somebody. There's no website, or it's not clear. It's not easy to find a phone number. And we all know that when we want something, we want it now. And if you're making it difficult for your customers to get a hold of you, if you think that a phone number is not important, think again, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I never understand. And, sometimes part of my service that I offer people in marketing is to work with their social media platforms to get it up to a standard that is acceptable, where I'm actually using it with a purpose, because after all, I mean, it's really great to use like something like Facebook for social, because that's why it's called social media. Okay. But remember, there are 2 billion people on there. And if you get this thing right, you're going to be getting attention from those people. And that's, after all, from a business aspect, that's what we want. But how are you going to get anyone to contact you if you don't put your phone number on, or your website? I mean, gone are the days that people can't find your information. They can find your information anywhere. They just Google your name and they can find your information. So get that number on your social media, because they can get it another way anyway. So you might as well do that, so that when someone wants to contact you, they can do it straight away.
And most people, if they want something, they're not going to take the time to Google it. It's like you've got to be able, if you've got a hot connection, you better light it on fire right at that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, just before we open the line up for other people to ask questions, you said you are holding free webinars, I think for another week they are. If people want to get in on those webinars, how do they do that, Anne?
Yes, okay, so the whole COVID-19 thing, people are at home, they're getting bored, they're probably sitting eating chips on their sofa. We don't want to put on weight, so I just thought, let's get their minds working. So I decided to run a 10-day, every day from today we started. People can still join though, because the recordings will be put in the broadcast room, but you can get on and register for a webinar. It's 10 days of training how to create your own product or your business online. And it started today, and they can go to www.un, so it's UN, COVID as in the virus, uncovidyoureyes.com. I love that domain. I fought for it. Uncovidyoureyes.com. You know, playing on the COVID thing, uncover your eyes and open your mind, basically. There we go. You have an opportunity to learn something online. You can register. There is no cost whatsoever. And you can also go step by step with me through building your platform. I take you through it step by step, and you can sign on a 14-day free trial on the platform that I use to develop. And you have to put your credit card in, sure, but if you don't want to go further, on the 12th or 13th day, you just cancel, and nothing ever comes off your card. They've never ever done that to anyone that I know. So you can experience this whole training step by step by getting free entry onto the platform that I develop on, and everything free from me.
Well, thank you for that offer. I think everyone would love to learn a little bit more about the hook, the story, and the offer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm putting up the first training video now that was live on Zoom this afternoon. So if they go to that link, they have free access to that video as well.
Okay. And if you're listening to the video after, you can find Anne's advertisement also on at45.com. So I thank you so much, Anne, for sharing that. I know that there's a couple people online, and if you'd like to unmute yourself, Heather, I see you're unmuted, and tell us where you're from, what you're doing, what's your business, and how you're doing during this trying COVID-19 time, and any questions you want to ask Anne.
I think I put them to sleep.
I don't know. She's unmuted, but I don't hear her.
Yeah.
Is anybody else online that would like to ask Anne some questions about your business or marketing for your business? Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, how are you?
Good, welcome.
Thank you. That was really interesting. Thank you very much, Sherry and Anne. I find I'm getting really mixed signals with marketing because a lot of trainers have told me, don't mention your business on Facebook and don't say what you do and create a curiosity. And then you're saying that you should put what you do. And so it's very confusing to know which one's right and what I should do. Because I have two businesses, but one is one of those ones that's up in the air where it's legal in the US, but it's not quite legal in Canada, and though they have other products. And so I don't want to advertise on my Facebook page what I do.
Okay, so Bunny, so this is the solution for you. Some people have, I've come across people that they want to be very discreet about some of the products that they sell because it's also probably not legal. But what you do is you never really push out a sales message on your timeline. Okay, right. Even whether it must never be a pure sales message because it'll just be ignored. So when I say use your timeline to do your marketing, it's about creating the curiosity factor so that when they click, you can take them somewhere else to sell to them.
Okay, great, thanks. Yeah, I don't even just say that I sell it all on my Facebook page. Now I do on Instagram, but I use my company name on Instagram even. I don't use my name.
Right.
For the same reason. It's CBD, so it's one of those ones that's in the air. It helps me with my health a lot, so I truly believe in it.
Yes.
But until Canada gets their act together, I don't market it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, well, you know what? That's the beauty about creating what is called funnels, which is just another word for a website, really. But it's more directed. So, like I was speaking about earlier, where you take someone through a journey. Now, you can talk. You don't ever sell directly ever. I mean, because that's one thing that's annoying to people anyway. And as soon as they see something that looks like it's selling or selling something, they don't really look at it. So we create an interesting story that's going to make people want to go on the journey with us. So for instance, if you've got, let's take an example, you've got, let's say a shoe, or a trainer, for instance. Okay. Now, you don't want to go out there and say, I sell trainers and you can get them from me and they like $47 each. Okay. You don't want to do that.
Okay.
So you'll talk about a story on your timeline about, you were running in the forest. I'm just talking off the top of my head now, so just excuse me if I fumble. Okay, you'll talk about, you know, I got to tell you the story. Today, I went for a run in the forest, and I came across this amazing flower that I'd never seen before, and I actually took a photo of it. So yeah, you see, you're not going anywhere near the shoes, okay? But yeah, and so what happened was, I had run quite far, and you know, and by the time I came back, something happened. What I wanted to show, you know, and you can just go on with your little story, and then you leave them on a crucial moment in the story. So you'll say, and then I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head now, but you'll come to a point where the excitement is high. They want to know, gosh, what happened to her in the forest, you know?
Okay.
And I couldn't get out. And then, you know, so your story creates the curiosity, and no one knows what you're selling because you're not selling, you know? And
So,
then
okay.
you can, so then what you do is you take them from the story, and you'll take them to your sales page, which will talk about your story and how you're able to run every single day through this forest because you had something wrong with your ankle and you got these type of shoes that support your foot. So look, you're still not selling, and because you're creating the curiosity about, oh, I want to know more about those shoes. Do you get where I'm going?
Yeah. So now, would it work if I said, wow, you know, in the last 4 months, I've lost 27 pounds just putting this in my coffee? Would that work? That's curiosity, but not saying what it is.
Well, you could tell the story of how you were overweight. I'm just guessing now, so excuse me, Bonnie, but
no, it's okay. I was.
You had the story
drugs.
Like I was overweight and I really had this was wrong with me and I was low and everything, and then don't say that you wanted to lose weight or that you did lose weight, but then you said I found the solution, and it was simply putting this in my coffee. Putting something in my coffee. And then they would get to that point where they left hanging. So what, did she lose weight? And what was it that she put in her coffee? So if you want to know more, just get hold of me and I can share that with you.
Okay.
Where are you calling from, Bonnie?
I'm right now in Calgary. I just got home from Mexico about a week ago, so still isolating.
Oh, wow.
And it's cold and snowy here. I'd rather be sitting on my balcony looking at the beach, but whatever. Yeah.
Yes, well, there are a lot of people in quarantine. Did you end up coming back on one of those rescue flights, or?
Well, no, well, we already had a flight booked, and with WestJet, we just actually changed it and got to come home earlier. Yeah. Yeah, our daughter was here, wanted us to get home, and my mom and dad are in Ontario, but if anything happened and I couldn't get home, I would, you know, never forgive myself. So yeah, we're here for now. But actually now I'm hearing Mexico is getting bad, and it will be bad because they don't understand to self-isolate. They don't have the money for doctors, hospitals. So it's going to get really bad there, which is really sad.
Yes, it is. There's some areas of the world that are really having an unfortunate time.
Yeah, and I'm just a block from, I'm sure you've seen on the news, the McKenzie Town seniors residence that has gone from last week, 1 death and 3 residents with COVID to now having 4 deaths and 61 in 1 week. That's how high it's gone. It's heartbreaking. It really is. And
Well, in Vancouver too, it's very similar.
sure,
We've had, I think now it's up to like, there's less than a handful of the senior citizen homes that don't have somebody with COVID.
it's heartbreaking. It really is. And I don't know what they can do. They're already in there because their health isn't good to start with, right? So it's hard.
And how is it in South Africa?
Well, we've been on lockdown now for 2 weeks and we got 1 week to go, but I think it's going to be prolonged until the end of the month. So people are really struggling because, you know, South Africans, because of our amazing weather all year around, we're outdoor people. And
Yeah.
so we like to be out in the shops. We're touchy-feely people. So when we go shopping, that's why a lot of us only now getting, you know, a lot of South Africans are only now getting to purchase online because we like to go out and we like to touch and feel and try on and
But
things
you
like that.
can't.
So to be stuck in your home, especially the men are the worst, is like, it's like they're dying. It's like they're
Yeah.
dying, you know, they just, people are, I actually stay in a complex. So there is a small complex, it's a 26 units and everybody knows everyone. So it's really awesome to live here. And so tonight I had one of the ladies asked me to come over. So I'm going like, oh, is it safe?
You really got to be careful.
Yeah. And she said, listen, we desperately want to get online and do these things. So those people who were really like against it or scared of it or whatever, they're now saying, I want to get online. I need to get online. I'm a little bit worried about how I'm going to earn my money, you know. And then also it gives them something to do. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to be speaking with Sherry and then afterwards I'll jump on a call with you and then we can have a chat.
Yeah, you're safer not to go over there, even if you touch their keyboard in their kitchen, you know, or because you don't know where the germs can sit and live for 3 days.
Yeah.
The virus is very scary. Yeah. When I see pictures like in Mexico, people were going to the bank and Costco and the grocery stores with their kids and grandma and granddad, and kids, they don't watch their kids. They're running around and touching everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's scary. So,
yeah, and not only that, the worst part about the whole lockdown is that in our country, they've actually stopped the sale of tobacco and alcohol.
Oh, wow.
So that's even worse.
Yeah. Yes, because everybody's anxiety is going to be through the roof, which is a good thing for CBD. But you can, anyway, in the US. But yeah, it's tough. Yeah. It's really hard.
I mean, it's okay if you're locked in your house, but at least can I have a drink, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully you have some left over from whenever, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't know because, you know, I spend most of my time online and I'm always having all my meetings online and I don't leave my house anyway, so except to go and do grocery shopping. And so I didn't even know that they were cutting alcohol and thing. And then I was like, oh, well, it's Friday. I'm going to go get myself, you know, maybe some gin or a bottle of champagne or something because I've been working hard. I deserve that. And then I was like, wait, what's happening here? And everything's locked up. They're not. All the liquor stores are locked up. They're not selling anything.
Amazing. Well, it hasn't got to that point in Canada yet. Well, I'm going to wrap up, but thank you so much, Anne, for sharing your expertise on marketing. If you're listening in on this, please subscribe to our magazine at 45.com, ATFORTYFIVE.com. Join our Facebook group, Fab 45 Women's Revolution. All these videos will be posted on our YouTube channel at 45. And we have some more quarantine conversations coming up. This afternoon, we're talking to a hilarious woman who calls herself a motivator, and she created a backyard circuit and created a video that's actually gone viral. It's just hilarious. You can find it in our magazine on an article that was just released on Wednesday. And Monday, next week, we've got another lineup. We're doing the 2020 Bucket List Challenge with Marilyn R. Wilson. And we have a number of other women who are just getting the session set up. So you can find more information about that on our website too. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.